Today I'm doing a library book haul of some of the things that I found that can be either Christian homeschool resources and or just homeschool resources for your kid. Don't overlook the library. You don't have to buy every book or every curriculum before you figure out what you like. You can always test things out with the books at the library and see what your kids do well with and what probably doesn't work out, and then buy from there. Most of these books you can most likely find on Amazon because they have so many. And if I do find them for the YouTube, I'm going to post this on. I'll link it below. So I first got this devotional by Billy Graham. It is a 365 devotional. I have many of these, but I really like the way that this one was laid out. And of course, I love Billy Graham and his teaching, so I thought that would be a great resource for devotionals for my kids. I got the Exploring the States for Illinois because I live in Illinois and so do my kids. And so I wanted them to learn a little bit more about Illinois. They have a lot of fun, beautiful pictures, as well as parts for you to read and or have your child read, depending on their reading level. I got Spectrum Math. I got a few different types of Spectrum for different subjects because I've heard a lot of good things about Spectrum and I wanted to try it out, especially since my son is now going into 3rd grade, and see how he likes it. They have a lot of word problems as well as a lot of regular problems that they can try out. And the fun thing is I don't have to he can't write on these because these are the libraries, and I'm just testing it out to see how he likes it. But I can just write a few on a piece of paper, see how he does, and go from there. You know, when you're picking a curriculum, don't necessarily pick what you like all the way. Pick what goes well with your child and you see that they're adapting well with it, or it's going to be a struggle trying to teach them. I got this DK workbooks. I love DK workbooks. They're not as, like, there's not so much on a page. And I think for my son, that's very helpful. They're still teaching them lessons, and you can do as much or as little each day. But it's not as covered, like the page is covered with words, and there's a lot more pictures to keep my son, like, engaged. And I've seen him really like these through our teaching when I had him in 1st grade especially. I got the Spectrum Language Arts. This looks really cool as well. I like how everything looks, me personally. But again, I'm going to see how my child does with it. You know, doing a few pages at a time, seeing how he engages. And I got this DK workbook for science as well. And my son loves science, so I have a lot of science books of my own already. But this just looked like a good resource as well for him to go over. Then, oops, I'm about to drop these books. Then I got this, which is like a Bible resource. I love this because it's a devotional. It has like a devotional part, but it also has parts where they ask questions and they have you read a certain Bible verse. I love that because it's more detailed and it gives kids more critical thinking chances when they're reading the Bible verses, stretch their mind capacity. And so I also got these for learning about emotions, dealing with big emotions. And the more I've gained understanding, the more I've learned that some things can really just be communicated to your kid, not necessarily through whoopings. I'm not 100% against it, but I do think that you can really communicate with your kids more and give them more understanding, and it helps them. So I got this about bullying, this one about being jealous, this one about being angry and worried, because even as adults, we have all these emotions, and we just need to learn how to deal with them in healthy ways. And then I got this. I got 2 books that are kind of about being a child that likes to move a lot, wiggle a lot, be active. I thought my kids would love those too because they seem very funny. They like funny, silly books. So it's fun reading those. And I will encourage you, even if you don't like it, try to read to your kids, because reading to your kids is such a fun way to get closer with them, and it's a fun way to just have a one-on-one time with them, especially when you're doing something funny or silly. It just builds those close moments of intimacy. All right, so that's all the books I got from the library. I'm going to do another haul of some of the books I already have for homeschooling in another video. Bye.